Hey, money magnets. Hey, money magnets. How are you?
How's everybody doing today? We're going to talk about how to get up to $150,000 for your business. I need you guys to be involved today. Ask questions. Let's figure out, what's been holding you back, whether it's been credit, your business, all of that. I want you guys to put this stuff in the chat. And I want my super chatters, you guys that want to ask questions and you want us to spend a little time with you today on YouTube, on Instagram. We're all over the place today. So feel free to ask questions and also get involved big time.
Yes, it is so important. So if you have a business, why not have money when you don't need the money versus need the money and don't have the money?
Exactly.
That is so important. And that's what we always try to talk about. We try to tell our money magnets, what are the best credit cards to get?
Right.
With the best interest rate.
Right.
Why not get your credit on point so that you can scale your business? Like there's no reason, there's no excuses.
Yeah.
Like there's too many ways to fix your credit nowadays.
Yeah.
Where you can scale and get money for your business.
And let's start there. One of the main secrets in getting business funding is making sure you have good credit. So I can tell you right now, when you're looking at Chase, American Express, Bank of America, they're going to look hard at inquiries. So number one, make sure you have less than 3 inquiries on your credit in the last 6 months. That's number one.
Yes.
All right. Number two, make sure that you have a business set up. So we get this question all the time, like, Marvin, Gloria, can I be a sole proprietor? Yes, you can be a sole proprietor. But if you want the higher levels of approval, banks love corporations, number one.
Yes.
They love LLCs and then sole proprietors. So you can start off like a sole proprietor if you're on a budget and you can't set up a business yet. Yes, you can start off as a sole proprietor.
Yes, you can.
Also, the next thing is make sure you get an EIN number.
That is so important.
Very important. Talk to your tax person about whether you should get taxed as a S corp, right?
Or a C corp.
Exactly.
Which I'm not a tax professional,
right?
And this right here is only for entertainment purposes only.
Exactly.
And informational purposes only.
Right.
So as a business, it is like Marvin and I'm just going to tell you what we do.
Yeah.
We're taxed as an S corporation.
Right.
For us, that was the best way to go.
Right.
That way we don't get double taxation.
Exactly.
So just look at that. Talk to a professional. They can help you. Now, keep in mind, whenever you set up a new corporation, okay, you're not going to automatically have it there to say, hey, I want to be an S corp.
Right.
You have to fill out paperwork and you have to send in forms.
Exactly.
So that's why it's best to get you an accountant or talk to a tax professional.
Yes.
That way they can help you fill out the paperwork. What we did was we talked to our accountant and he was like, yes, it's better for you to be an S corp.
Right.
So we are on both of the businesses.
Right.
Even on our restaurant, we're S corp.
Yes.
So he filled it out for us, and you have to send it in to the IRS, and the IRS will send you a letter back stating, hey, you are now being taxed as an S corp. You won't be taxed as an S corp if the IRS don't send you a letter back.
Right.
So you have to make sure that you get the letter and you hold on to it.
Right. Next thing, make sure you set up a bank account. We've noticed from lenders that we deal with, over 60% of business owners don't have a bank account.
Yeah, and you're not a business truly until you have a business bank account.
Yes, because banks, they want you to use their account. They want you to establish a relationship.
Most definitely.
So if you're starting out, we're going to start off with the newbies. If you're starting out, the best tips I can give you right now, the best secrets is make sure you got an LLC or a corporation.
Okay.
Make sure you have an EIN number.
Okay.
Also look at having either a virtual office or if you have a home-based business like e-commerce, that's fine. But a virtual office would be good. And now most virtual offices will give you an address and a phone number.
Most definitely. And that is so important. And make sure you set up an email address.
Right.
I don't mean like a gmail.com address.
Right.
I mean like a company professional email address.
Correct.
Like, for example, info@cafesocialhouse.com. You want your company name in there .com, not info cafe social house
at Gmail.
At Gmail.
Right.
That's not gonna work, guys.
Right.
I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, take the time to get a domain. Also set up a website.
Yes.
You know, now you can get a website for probably less than $100, $200 a month, or period, you know, and set up your domain. GoDaddy is a good place to set up your domain, because a lot of bankers want to see that you have a social presence. So after that,
that's true.
You may want an Instagram, a Facebook, a LinkedIn, to let them know that you are trying to market your business. Because a lot of us as business owners, we forget about marketing. Social media is not just for personal stuff. It was actually created for businesses. You know, if you think about it, look at a Facebook or look at Instagram for probably 5 minutes and tell me how many ads you see. You're going to see a lot of ads. So, you know, and I want you guys to get active in this chat. If you guys got questions about your business or questions about why you've been denied for funding, I want you guys to throw this in the chat today, because we're going to answer your questions. Anything you guys want to ask about your business or about why you're getting denied, throw it in the chat. And I can tell you 90%, most of the time, you know, most people are getting denied because of their personal credit.
Most definitely.
And don't believe for 1 minute that you can get a business loan without personal credit. You gotta have personal credit.
That is not. Those are myths.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, yes, you used to be able to get business credit, you know, but let me tell you guys something. Things have changed, and they're constantly going to change. You know, you need to be on the lookout, get yourself in position, because let me say this, and I've said this on several occasions.
Right.
Let's dive into this a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So right now, you know, banks are looking at your personal credit to fund you.
Yes.
But coming in the near future, I'm going to say in the next couple of years,
you
know, they've already got Plaid going, where Plaid is, you know, you can get these fintechs. Banking is going to go to, what does your cash flow look like? You know, because we can manipulate credit all day long. You know what I'm saying? We always telling all of we're telling all of our money magnets, hey, fix your credit, get yourself in a good position. That's fixing your credit. Everybody can fix their credit. There's no reason why you can't fix your credit. So that's what I mean by we can manipulate the credit, because we can fix it. We can make it look better. We can add trade lines. You know, we can get secure cards. You know, those are things that where we manipulate the credit to grow your credit.
Correct.
Okay. But when they attach to that bank account, and you're asking them for $50,000, and at the end, when they attach and it says, what does your cash flow look like? And your cash flow at the end of every month is negative. Oh, negative $50. Or you got a lot of overdraft fees or a lot of overdrafts in that account. You can't manipulate that. Those are hard facts. And guess what? You're going to get denied. So you got to get yourself in position now, so you can set yourself up for a brighter future, you know?
And start running all your money, like all your receivables, all the money you make from your customers, deposit it into your bank account. Don't get stuck on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Those are money transfer accounts. If you have to get your money from your customers through that, that's fine. But
transfer it.
But make sure you transfer it to your business bank account. Because like Gloria is saying, the next 2 to 5 years, they're going to look more at your cash flow than your credit score. So if you guys want tips on your credit, let's talk about that for a second, Gloria. So what we've seen, we just helped a big influencer. She helps business owners start e-commerce businesses with digital products. What we saw with a lot of her students that wanted to get funded to pay for the program, they had really high balances on their credit cards.
Utilization. And it'll kill you every time.
That'll get you denied. So I'm telling you right now, before you go to look for business funding, look at companies like SoFi. I'll make sure I put a link in the chat about SoFi. Make sure that you guys pay those cards down, because you will get denied. You know, I'm just here to tell you. And, you know, we've helped several of her students actually get loan consolidations, where we help them consolidate all their credit card debt into one payment, one bill. And guess what happened? Their scores went up. After they actually paid down those revolving cards, now their scores went up. Now, we were able to get one lady. We just got her what? How much did we get her?
75,000.
75,000 on one credit card. But we had to wait almost 30 days for everything to show up correctly.
Right. Because we consolidated everything for her.
And that was her first business funding. So if you guys want to help with business funding, you want to learn the business funding sequences, and everybody's situation is different. You know, we can give you guys lenders all day long, but everybody's situation is different. If you guys want a free business strategy call, then make sure you go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe, and we will help you through the process. And we don't charge anything up front. Our fees are all on the back end, so you don't have to worry about getting charged up front. And I'm gonna give you guys the link. If you guys want to set up a free business strategy call, I'm putting the link in the chat.
Let's answer Scotty's question.
Scotty
has a question.
Okay, Scotty has a question. Scotty says, hello, can you get an LLC from the bank, and is it the best way to get it? Okay, it's a couple of banks that will help you set up an LLC.
Yeah, so you're not getting
you're not getting it from
the bank. It's a service that they offer. Okay?
Right.
And there is a couple of banks out there. So what they do is
they offer the service.
They offer the service. They help you set it up. They help you set it up in your state. And I think that's a good idea, because then guess what? They even will give you money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, you actually get the LLC from your Secretary of State. So Scotty, I don't know what state you're from, but you have to actually Google Secretary of State, for example, Tennessee, or Secretary of State, Georgia. You actually get your LLC from those type of, from the government.
Once you decide what you want your name to be,
right,
you need to go to the Secretary of State, register your name there first,
right,
and then you can go and get an EIN number. It's steps to it, and it's not hard.
No,
but
it's not.
Steps to it. And let me tell you something. The Secretary of State is so important.
It is.
Because we had one of our students that had been in our program a long time, and we went to get him another round of funding. He had been funding with us for quite some time. We fixed his credit.
Right.
We helped him grow his trucking business. He is doing very, very well. And he has like several businesses, but he forgot to pay the Secretary of State fees. He's in California. He forgot to pay the fees, and he missed out on $50,000. Just because you cannot let your LLC fees lapse. You cannot.
Not at all. And make sure, when you're looking up the Secretary of State, if you need it, Scotty, let us know. We can actually help you with the registered agent that we do business with that can help you set that up correctly. So if you need it, definitely set up a free business strategy call so we can help you. But I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna do one better for you, Scotty. So make sure you subscribe and follow us. I'm gonna show you, this is the website where you go for your state. See this? It says South Carolina Secretary of State. Now you could either do two things. You can call, or you can figure out, you can do it yourself. That's one, because see, they have online filings where you can actually do it yourself. But if you need help, I would just get in touch with us, and we'll connect you with a registered agent, that can help you. So I don't want you getting confused on this. This is the South Carolina Secretary of State. I just wanted to show you that. So, it's not that hard, but do your research. And if you need a registered agent, definitely let us know. We have a registered agent we work with that works with Hawaii. I mean, they work with all 50 states and territories.
Yeah.
So let us know.
You are welcome, Scotty. Yeah. So if we can help, let us know.
Yep. Great question though.
Yeah.
Because we get a lot of people that forget, even when you start the LLC or the corporation, Scotty, remember, you have to pay it every year.
Yeah.
So it's something you got to pay every year. You don't just pay it once and you're done. Because we have a lot of people that think that. And guess what? Like Gloria said, somebody missed paying their yearly fees, and it cost them $50,000. So you gotta make sure you work on that.
Okay.
All right. Next question is: are you aware of the secured business line of credit method? Yes. Yeah. So if you guys check out our videos, you would know that we talk about this a lot. Make sure you guys subscribe and look at our past videos, because we just did a video on personal secured cards. But yes, you can get a business secured card, which lets the bank know that you're serious about having a relationship with them. And usually anywhere from 6 months to a year, they'll give you an unsecured either business line of credit or business loan. Bank of America is really good. Yeah, they're really good for that. So yeah, we're very aware of the secured cards. That's a great method to get either your personal credit set up or your business credit. So great question. And if you guys got any other questions,
drop them in the chat.
Yeah, drop these questions in the chat. These are great questions, and I appreciate you guys definitely asking those questions. So let's go back to some more secrets.
Yeah.
All right, direct deposits. Direct deposits and definitely putting all your deposits in a bank is a great way. So like, say for example, you get $50,000 from bank A. Go deposit that 50,000 in one or two other banks and let it sit for 90 days.
Most definitely.
Normally if you put more than 5,000 in a bank, it boosts your bank rating score. So if you want a high bank rating score, then deposit 5,000 in your business banking account and watch what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll actually get a good bank rating, and you'll be surprised. You may get offers in the mail. You may get a business credit card offer in the mail. We have a lot of our clients that get their first loan, then they deposit money in bank A, bank B, and they wait 90 days and they do several deposits and they're able to get money from those other banks.
I'm sorry, y'all. Let me share something with y'all. We're wiping our face. It is hot. We're in Tulum. And when I tell y'all it is hot as H double hockey sticks.
And on top of that, we went on a 5-mile bike ride. So
Marvin wore me out today, y'all. I kept stopping and going and stopping and going. And I'm like, I can't go anymore. Y'all would have been really laughing at me, Money Magnets. We really, I just wanted to share that little tidbit with y'all because it was rough. And it is so hot here. The Arizona in our room is flowing really good. But I think our bodies still haven't cooled off from that amazing bike ride. We showered and jumped on here with you guys, but I'm still hot.
So look, YOLO says, appreciate it. Bank of America is definitely good, as well as PNC and Truist. Yes. And I'm going to tell you, since you mentioned that, if we're talking about banks in a sequence, I would actually go after Chase first. Chase right now is putting money on the street.
They giving out that bag.
So if you got great credit, I would put Chase at the top of the list, the rest of them after that. And it all depends on where you have a relationship. We get asked all the time, what's the best bank? But you got to look at what's the best bank for your situation.
Exactly.
A lot of times you could go chasing after what they're saying on the internet and be missing a small bank right by your home, right by your business that could be giving out the bag, but you're going chasing everything else. So always look at, who do you bank with? What's 10 miles, 5 to 10 miles from your home? What bank or what credit union is 5 to 10 miles from your home? That could actually be the first place that you go, or wherever you've done business with.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And then just make sure your credit score is on point. That is so
right.
What is that?
He said it's hotter than a giraffe's booty. Yes, it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot. But no, we want you guys to be able to get approved. So if I was to give it, if you're preparing yourself to get business funding, first look at your personal credit.
Yeah.
Look at the inquiries. Make sure they're less than 3 in the last 6 months. Next, look at your personal credit. Now, I'm going to give you a tip. A lot of people slip on, and some people give too much credit. So you can actually use authorized users still at some branches, like Chase.
Yeah, at some banks, they look at authorized users as if it give you credit on your credit reports.
And for those of you who don't know what an authorized user is, for example, if I added Gloria to my credit card, she becomes an authorized user. Say I got 7 years history, $10,000 limit, and maybe a $2,000 balance. Guess what?
I get all that good credit, y'all. It reports It reports to my credit.
Exactly.
I get that. I get all his good credit on my credit, and it makes me look stellar.
Right. And what you guys should look at is, can I get 2 or 3 of those added to my credit? Say you have limited credit. You know, we've seen a lot of credit reports, and I'm just talking about what we've seen in the last week. Right. We'll see people with limited credit. We had a Canadian, actually, a young lady from Canada. Her Canada credit was impeccable, but she moved to Florida and she's starting her US credit. And guess what? It was only 6 months old. So my advice to her was, like Yolo said, get a security card and also add some authorized users, because the only thing stopping her is time.
Yep.
You know, and that's one thing you can't replace. But like Gloria said, we can manipulate the credit system a little bit by adding things, you know, to our personal credit. And that's going to be about 80 or 90% of the battle. So make sure your balances are low.
Very low.
Yep. Yeah. And if you're added to anybody's credit, make sure it's low. And then let's go to types of products. You know, a lot of banks, you know, we all want the line of credit.
Yeah.
And we want a loan. We hear this 90% of the time.
Yeah.
When we talk to somebody on our free business strategy call. And I'm telling you right now, the banks are going to give you a credit card first. If you just want money, go for the credit card. You know, then look at the loan and the line of credit. Yeah. Everybody that contacts us, they want a line of credit. Marvin, I need a line of credit. And I'm telling you right now, when you go for that line of credit, they're going to look at you and say, hey, I need some financials.
Yeah, most definitely. So keep that in mind. You don't always look at the credit card. Like right now, there's so many business credit cards out there that has 0% interest for a year, 15 months. You know, those are the credit cards that you want to attack.
Exactly.
Because guess what? You can get what you're trying to get done with 0 interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That right there is a cash flow changer all by itself. You know, just think about it. When you get a line of credit, or when you get a loan, you're paying on that loan as soon as you get the money, even if you're not using it. Just say you want to get a loan, you want to hold on to the money. You haven't started your project,
right? But
you're paying on it, and the money's not working for you yet,
right?
When you get a credit card, 0% interest, you don't pay until you swipe.
Exactly. And then most credit cards that we deal with a lot of banks, they'll let you take a portion of your limit and deposit it right into your bank account. So you can treat a lot of these credit cards as if it was cash, you know, because now what we're helping our mentees do, and people that jump in our free business strategy call, we'll help you guys get $50,000 and $75,000 credit cards. I mean, as long as your credit, you know, can handle it. And then I want to address this. I don't want to go too far without talking to the people that may have bad credit. Right. If you guys got bad credit, I want you to do this. Even after this recording has posted, type AI in the chat. Type AI in the chat, and we're going to send you a software that can help you remove those nagging negative items from your credit. You know, because we have seen some people with great credit, but they might have a collection here, a utility bill here, or something nagging on their credit. And right now, we have an AI software that's like second to none that will help you get those items removed. And guess what? You know, you don't have to worry about paying a credit repair company.
And you don't have to be ashamed that you have bad credit.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you, life happens to all of us. Whether you went through a bad divorce, you got laid off from your job, you lost your job, whatever the case may be, it's okay. But I'm going to tell you, you should be embarrassed if you're not doing anything.
If you're not doing anything.
If you're not trying to fix your credit or get yourself in a better position, then yes, you should be embarrassed.
Yes.
But you shouldn't be embarrassed that mistakes happen.
They do.
Happens. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Life has been lifing for a lot of people. We hear this on the day-to-day basis. But guess what? They took the first step and picked up the phone and called Marvin and I.
Yeah. And look, I'll be the first one to say, look, the reason why I'm even doing these lives and doing these videos is because I had bad credit years ago and I didn't understand how to fix it. So I've been there where you are, confused, you know, and you're looking at, man, if I could just get the credit to start my business, or, you know, to buy my house, or to get a vehicle to start my business.
Or how do I do it? I just
how do I do it?
Like, I nobody taught me.
Yes.
I didn't learn it in school. You know, my parents, they don't really understand credit. So
Right.
how do you learn?
And my mother taught me how to have great credit. But what happened, I had a business. I took it as far as I can go. I had a bunch of bad stuff happen. Like Gloria said, you know, it could be loss of a job. It could be death of a spouse, death of a family member.
Right.
You know, it could be getting laid off. I mean, it could be anything.
Or you got sick.
Yeah, or your business, or like for me, what happened to me, my industry also slowed down. You know, I was in construction at that time. Everything slowed down. And guess what? I wasn't able to keep up, and I had to try to figure things out. And you know, we understand. And what I'm saying to, you know, to you guys, type AI in the chat if you need this software. The name of the software is Luxury Credit Hacks. I'll make sure I put it in the description below, even after this recording is done.
And if you need that free strategy call, hey, just book the call.
Yeah.
Even if it's about your credit, we can, you know, you can sign up and we can look at your credit, sign up with the credit monitoring. We can look at your credit, tell you what's going on.
Right.
You know, we want to help you get in a better situation. That's what this channel is all about, is empowering your finances.
All right. YOLO says, I've been made aware of being added to a low balance family member mortgage loan boosts your credit tremendously. Your thoughts? Yes, if you can get added to it, I mean, that would definitely help. I mean, if you can, you know, so, you know, that may require some financials, because getting added to a mortgage, normally they're going to ask for financials. But if you can pull that off, yes, a mortgage, you know, if we're talking about credit, you know, we can talk about credit mix for a second.
And we're not talking about just being added to the deed. You have to be added to the actual mortgage where it reports to the bureaus every month. You know, being added to the deed is something totally different.
Yes.
When you're added to the deed, you're not responsible for the mortgage. But when you're added to the mortgage, you're just as liable for the mortgage as the other person.
Yeah. So if it's possible, yes, because a mortgage is the biggest and longest account that you can add to your credit. So if it's some way you can get added to a mortgage, by all means do it, because, you know, you got a mortgage, you got installment, and you got revolving. If you get a good credit mix, and a lot of lenders look for that, you know, a lot of lenders look for, has this person had a mortgage? Are they stable? You know, have they had a car loan before? Are they stable? And if you guys want to know how to build business credit to be able to buy a car or refinance a car, we got videos about that as well. Make sure you check out those videos. And, you know, let's go back to more secrets. So, all right, when you go into the bank, make sure you read the applications. You know, a lot of times they can ask you for projected income. And so if they're asking you for projected income, now you can project what you're going to make. Also, let me tell you one thing that most people make a mistake on. Keep your limits below 50,000, or what you're asking to get approved for below 50,000 if you don't have any documentation.
Most definitely.
Now, if you don't have bank statements, you don't have tax returns, you don't have a profit and loss, ask for less than 50,000.
And if you have great credit, ask for less than 55,000. And that's what we're doing. That's where we come in. You know, like, we're getting people more than 50,000 on credit cards.
Correct.
You know,
correct.
Because they're not asking for no docs.
Right. And, you know, and with one bank, you know, if you have over 780, like we've seen, if you got over a 780 credit score, we're seeing approvals all the way up to 75,000.
Most definitely.
But you got to have a super clean, squeaky clean credit report. And if you're asking, okay, well, what does a good credit report look like? I would say having 4 credit cards that are more than 2 years old, having one of the limits be at about 10 to 15,000
at least.
If you got 4 credit cards, you got 2 years old minimum, and then you have limits 10 to 15,000. I think you can easily get approved for $50,000. And if you got a mortgage or a paid off car loan, now we're looking at $75,000 with no docs.
And let me say this, okay? Let me throw this into the mix too, Mark.
Okay,
so just say if you have great credit,
right,
and you know you want to start your business and you haven't jump started your business yet because you don't have the funds for it, okay?
Right.
We also have it where you can get shelf corporations.
Yes.
And let's explain that.
Oh yeah, that is a nugget. So, we may have somebody on here that has a business that's 1, maybe 2 years old. If you want a business that's more seasoned, a 3 to 7 year old business,
Yeah.
they're called shelf corps, like something on the shelf. And what it is, we're able to give you, or you can buy a shelf corp where you can actually purchase it, and it looks as if you were the owner for 3 to 7 years. That gives you a major shortcut. Now, if you got a great credit score, a shelf corp, now you're talking about $50,000 to $75,000 easy. And we're only talking, when we say 50 to 75,
that's what inquiry.
We're only talking about one lender. We're not talking about if we go to 2 or 3 lenders. You could easily get 150 to 250,000, depending on how strong your credit score is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We want, like, if you have a really strong credit score, now you're talking 6 figures easily. And most of this can be done with no docs. Now, let's go to the clients that may have documentation.
Right.
If you got documentation, you're in a whole nother arena.
A whole nother game changer.
If you got bank statements, you got a profit and loss, you got 3 years tax returns. Now we're talking, it could be anywhere from 100,000 all the way up to millions.
Yes.
Depending on your business, depending on what you need the money for. Because you got the SBA. We just did a live. What was it, last week? On the SBA.
Tuesday. Actually, that's Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it was. We did a live a few days ago on the SBA where you guys can you can get millions with the SBA now. But remember, we're talking about documentation.
Most definitely.
So you got to have your Secretary of State, probably a good standings letter, your EIN letter. You got to have your office, your email, your phone number. Now you start looking at, do I have bank statements?
Yeah.
Do I have profit and loss? Do I have 3 years tax returns?
Yep.
Now you're talking much, much, much higher approvals.
And let me tell you something. Get yourself in position because the money is out here.
Right.
There's no reason why a business should be suffering.
Correct.
Because the money is out here. Get yourself in position and get to the bag.
Right. And so YOLO says, are you offering shelf corps? Yes, we have access to shelf corps. And if you ask the fees, it really depends on the age and what state it's from. So I don't want to throw out a bunch of figures. Just set up that free business strategy call and we'll tell you what's available.
Yeah.
Because not only, it's the years in the state, you also got to look at the name. You're not able to change the name.
Yeah.
So if you want,
can DBA it.
Yeah, you can DBA it, and that's doing business as.
Doing business
Gloria,
as.
Gloria talking them terms now. You can do doing business as if you don't like the name of the shelf corp. So the price could be different depending on the state, the name of the business, and the years that the business has been around. Yep. So if YOLO, the best thing to do, jump on our free business strategy call where we can explain all of this, and we can show you, for your situation, because everybody's situation
is different.
Yeah, it's totally different. And I don't want to, be talking a bunch of figures and terms, and it may not apply to somebody else.
Yeah.
So if you want that real secret, like Gloria said, the shelf corp, absolutely awesome thing to do. We just got a young lady approved. She was like 26 years old. In the state of Tennessee, she got approved for $50,000 at her first lender. We haven't even went anywhere else.
Yeah.
And so that goes to show she had good credit though. I want to make sure I put that out there. She had over a 720 score. She purchased a 3-year-old corporation. She was able to get approved for $50,000. So it does work,
It does work.
And I want you guys to definitely set up those free business strategy calls.
Yes.
Even if you don't have the best credit now. I want to talk about cash flow a little bit, Gloria. Because even, we've got lenders where even if you have, the worst credit ever, there are lenders out here that will loan you based on your cash flow.
Most definitely.
Where you can build business credit and you can actually have your cash flow get you approved.
Most definitely.
Yep. So tons of lenders out here. So guys, remember, if you want to know the best secrets, make sure you got over a 680 credit score. Make sure you've been in business over 2 years. Make sure you got a bank account that you're depositing money in month after month after month so that you're building a relationship. And like YOLO said, even a secure card.
Make sure you have a business address.
Yes.
A business email address. Make sure you have low inquiries. Make sure that your credit is fire.
Right. Have the best credit that you can,
right,
to give you the best chances. Don't sleep on, hey, I don't want to pay that collection, or I don't want to pay that old bill that I had. That $250 or $500 bill could be holding you back from $100,000. I mean, I've seen it. I remember one lady we knew dearly. She had a $75 bill hit her credit,
and she didn't want to pay.
And she didn't want to. She didn't want to. She didn't want to pay it, and it ended up costing her a higher interest rate. But we convinced her to pay it
bill
and get it off her credit, because little items like that, guys, believe it or not, little items like that can hold you back from $100,000, literally. And I don't want you guys to miss out on starting a business that you've always dreamed of, something that you always wanted to do, and it can be overcome. Look, I've had bad credit before.
I've had bad credit. I don't lost things, houses, cars, businesses, So we're speaking from experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We've walked that walk, So if you have questions, let us guide you.
Yeah.
Drop them in the chat. We're going to tell you what we know and what we've experienced in life.
Look, I went through 2008 where I lost about 30 houses because of the real estate crash.
Yeah.
So if I can come back from that, I'm sure you guys can come back from wherever you are in whatever situation that you're going through. And remember, just keep walking. Just take one step at a time and do something every day that's going to get you closer to your dreams. Because that's all it takes, is taking a step forward and believing in yourself, and then empowering yourselves. We got tons of videos that you guys can watch to help you improve your financial position, help you improve your business credit. We got videos on business credit, on how to buy vehicles and equipment. We got videos on how to get money from the SBA. We go over it. We do tons of bank reviews, on how to get money. So don't let, a bad credit situation or a small situation with something on your credit hold you back, guys.
Yes.
And I want you guys to keep building your credit. And look, guys, I want you to, if you want to know how to build your personal credit, then you need to check out the next video we'll have after this. And you know what? I want you guys to have a great Sunday. And thank y'all for spending time with us.